Horror Minute is rated R. The Rocky Horror Picture Show is also rated R. We're going to spend this time discussing the movie in gory detail, and along the road we will talk about some adult content and use some of our favorite swear words.
Okay, I need one each of the following tapes. Whispers in the Wind, To Each His Own, Put It Where It Doesn't Belong, My Pipes Need Cleaning, All Tit Fucking, Volume 8, I Need Your Cock, Ass-Worshipping Rim Jobbers, My Cunt and 8 Shafts, Come Clean, Come Gargling Naked Sluts, Come Buns 3, Coming in Socks, Come On Eileen, Huge Black Cocks with Pearly White Cum, Girls Who Crave Cock, Girls Who Crave Cunt, Men Alone 2, The KY Connection, Pink Pussy Lips, and all holes filled with hard cock.
Consider yourselves warned.
Welcome to Rocky Horror Minute, the podcast where we discuss the Rocky Horror Picture Show 1 minute at a time in excruciating detail. I'm one of your hosts, Kelly.
And I'm your other host, Leandra.
And tonight we have joining us again Blake Reilly of D5, the Mighty Ducks podcast, and the Blake and Sal Show.
Hi, ladies. It's time to get really sexy, apparently, now. Here we go.
Oh, yeah. This is the big finish.
Yeah. Oh, no pun intended.
Yeah, money shot, if you will.
Yeah, so we're in minute 59. We are almost 2/3 of the way through the movie, and there's a lot of stuff that happens in this minute compared to the previous one.
What stuff, Leandra?
I'm glad you asked, Kelly. So it starts with Magenta and Columbia getting incredibly excited and going down, down, down. And then you see Janet again, and she's just kind of rationalizing to Rocky why she needs to have the sex with him. And she goes, and that's just one small fraction of the main attraction. And then Magenta and Columbia gasp. And then she says, you need a friendly hand. Oh, and I need action. And it's important to note that unlike the last time this part of the song came up, we don't see Magenta and Columbia a second time. We hear that little bit of a musical vamp, but we don't see them react to it. So then Janet says, touch it, touch it, touch it, touch me. I want to be dirty. Thrill me, chill me, fulfill me, creature of the night. And during that, the sexuality or the sensuality of the scene has definitely picked up the pace, and Rocky is now kind of in a more feverish grope of the shoulders. He doesn't actually fondle her boobs a whole lot during this minute. And then Columbia and Magenta kind of mockingly say, touch it, touch it, touch it, touch me. I want to be dirty. Thrill me, chill me, fulfill me, creature of the night. And during that, they do a little bit of their own fondling. And then Janet and Rocky go through one final bit of the entire chorus, and they're inside of the tank, and you see them through the colored stained glass, and Janet says, touch it, touch it, touch it, touch me. I want to be dirty. Thrill me, chill me, fulfill me, creature of the night. And then we see Rocky, and he says, creature of the night. And then Brad appears, seemingly over top of Janet, and he says, creature of the night? And then Frank appears over top of Janet, and he says, creature of the night. And then Magenta appears and kind of is above and dips down toward Janet and says, creature of the night. And then Riff Raff, who I guess is that one at the orgy who is just like there but doesn't actually want to participate, he goes, creature of the night. And that's the end of this minute.
So we talked in last minute about a misheard lyric. I've always heard Riff Raff's line as creature of the light.
Oh.
And I have no basis for this other than what I've heard, like the subtitles say night. Everyone else seemed... I watched it like 100 times today just to see. It sounds so much like light. It's probably just the way Richard O'Brien talks, but just wanted to see if anyone else has ever heard that.
If you have, definitely let us know. Email us.
I can't say I've ever heard that. That's the first time I've heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and unlike other things I've misheard, that would almost make sense. It's not the craziest thing for me to have thought he was saying, like, even though it's different, because, like, if Riff Raff's a creature of the night, you know. Anyway, that was just something that I wanted to see if I was alone there. Apparently I am.
You are. Forever alone.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
So,
it's fine.
Other things that are fine are the kind of lack of additional things to talk about in this scene. I do have... Did you like that segue? I made it just for you.
Great.
So, I do have a couple of things to go over, but it comparatively, we've really kind of talked through all of the things that occur in this fairly well, given the fact that I also don't want to talk in excruciating detail just yet about what's going on set-wise in the bedroom that Columbia and Magenta are canoodling in.
Yeah.
Nice word. Nice word.
Oh, thank you.
Richard O'Brien in the commentary actually pointed out how much everybody's forehead veins are sticking out. And he said, when they're above, and he said, remember, people, when you're making love, your veins in your forehead stick out when you're above somebody like that. And I had never noticed it before then, but yeah, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I stand by my previous statement that I don't think Rocky is an inherently sexy film, and it's stuff like this.
I mean, that I don't find sexy. Watching someone like squeezing a boob is always going to excite me.
And as I said before, even though Janet and Rocky having relations is not something that really checks off any boxes for me, there is a fair amount of kind of carnal sensuality between Magenta and Columbia in this that I do think is, if not hot, at least erotic. Magenta straight up like reaches into Columbia's shirt and kind of honks her boob when they're mocking Janet. And then when Magenta says creature of the night, she even like grabs her blow dryer and kind of pushes it down the front of the shirt.
Yeah.
Which I can only imagine would actually be very painful if it was on, because it would burn. It's a chrome covered.
Yeah, I hope that's off. Like, you're right. That'd be weird and hurt.
Yeah. So there are a couple of makeup notes that I want to touch on with this. Everybody's making some interesting choices with this. Magenta has a full face of makeup. It's kind of her standard look, and it doesn't look worn off or anything. Columbia, on the other hand, has cleaned off her eyebrows, so she is eyebrowless through this entire thing, which, if you look at just some of the stills of this scene, really make her look somewhat unhinged. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Rocky is wearing this kind of thick blue kohl eyeliner, and I think that that's all of the makeup that he's wearing, and it's really in this scene that you see that they have it pretty far down under his eye as well. It's not like on the waterline, it's fairly thick. It's like goth high schooler thick. And then Janet, she has fantastic makeup for this. This is one of those scenes where her hair is perfect, her lipstick is perfect, she's got a coral blush on that it really does good things for her complexion, and she looks fully put together. If I were to have a sex scene, I would sincerely hope that I looked as nice and healthy as Susan Sarandon did in this. This is arguably one of the only times that she actually looks incredibly healthy in this. Did you have anything, Kelly?
Yeah, I had a couple of things. First of all, so back to the like looming over all of the different cast members saying creature of the night. Is there any like actual explanation for what's going on there? Is it just random 70s bullshit? Like, is that supposed to be like something Janet's imagining, or is it like something
I was actually just thinking the same thing. Because it's like, it's in her head, but then why the hell is Magenta and Riff there? Like, that's like, why are they there? Like, the rest of them makes sense. I don't understand why Magenta and Riff would be there then.
Yeah, I think that the practical reason, if there is such a thing, is that in a musical, kind of tying things up with that sort of repetition really does work well.
True.
As far as the in-universe reason behind this, I don't feel that she actually sees these people. I think that it's all in her head, if only because Rocky and Janet appear to be having this sex without anybody else knowing about it other than Magenta and Columbia. So it's kind of in her head.
Yeah. That makes sense. I was just wondering if it was that, or if the movie was just like, it would be like fun to have all the characters. And then the other thing is just, we've touched on this a little bit, but when we're shadow casting this at our cast, we usually will get out of the tank and kind of like go to the front row of seats and do something. And I always have a lot of fun with that. Usually me and, well, sometimes I'm Rocky, sometimes I'm Janet. So usually me and Rocky or Janet are switching back and forth, doing different things. I do a bit with Oscar where I stage slap him in the face a bunch of times while I'm pretending to ride him. I usually will pretend like I'm fisting Rocky from behind. One time, that same guy who said I was going to eat him alive, one time I was doing that, and Rocky never knows I'm doing that because their back is to me. But anyway, I slipped and accidentally punched him pretty hard in the asshole and got a very
God.
Damn.
He was like, whoa.
Oh no.
I mean, I don't think I heard it, but it's pretty surprising.
Yeah.
Because he thought I was just like pretending to fuck him or whatever. If I'm in front, I like to reach out and do Oprah hands with whoever's in front of me. One time we were doing this and I heard that there was like a middle-aged, well-to-do man sitting in front of me, and he just turned to his companion and went, well, this is really neat. So that's like one of my all-time favorite Rocky moments.
That is fantastic. It's during this moment that a lot of things have, I wouldn't say gone wrong in live shadowcasting, but certainly things perhaps that you don't want to happen have happened. I have been on several casts where they have a table that Columbia and Magenta are doing their scene on, and if you are going at it with enough force, you can break a table. And falling down because the table that you're on has crumbled under you is not only painful, but also embarrassing. This has happened to Oscar on at least 3 occasions because he has belly flopped onto tables a couple of times. And it's never that he is just like the one that did all of the damage to the things that fall apart. He's just the straw that breaks the camel's back.
Well, and he's also very like enthusiastic about jumping up on stuff, so I don't think that helps either.
Yeah.
Like he's not like climbing on gingerly.
I do love that Columbia, during her kind of makeout sesh with Magenta, kicks her foot in the air just twice. It's very cute. I always kind of hated that we have a bunch of larger set pieces that, for very practical reasons, we can't get rid of when they're on our stage when we're performing live. But when I was looking through this minute, I realized that both the weights and the pommel and one of the red sheets are just in the background in the lab, and they are not set up in any way to make it look aesthetically pleasing. Like the sheet is just like on the ground, crumpled. So next time I see that on our stage, I'll go, we are screen accurate. But otherwise, that's really all I had.
Yeah. I actually don't think I've got anything else either. Did you, Blake?
I have 2 things. First of all, I have on my screen, it's paused, and it's Rocky staring at Janet like the typical teenager touching boobs for the first time, which is hysterical. I'm sorry, that's really funny. But the other thing I also have, I was actually at this earlier, another episode, we were talking about lyrics and different versions. And I didn't know this till now. I don't know if you know this. I had the lyrics for the 1993 original performance in London. And in this song, they actually call back for some reason to Hopatootie, which is weird to me. I don't know why they do that. Like, it's like the lyrics are touch, touch, touch me. And then in parentheses, it says Hopatootie. They're singing that in the background.
So that's actually a kind of interesting and fun thing that they did to kind of play with the fact that Rocky has half of Eddie's brain.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense then. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes a lot more sense. All right, cool. I was just wondering about that because I started in the lyrics. I was curious.
Yeah, and I think it's one of the things that really adds a lot of flavor to the music when they do that. It doesn't happen terribly often, but I do like hearing that.
Other than that, I'm good.
All right. I have only one callback.
All right.
In the same vein of a callback we heard earlier, when they say down, down, down in response each time, you should respond up, up, up. That's what I got.
Okay. I have a couple. When Janet says, and that's just one small fraction of the main attraction, you can say 169th. And you need a friendly hand. Job is something that you can add in. And then when Magenta and Columbia are mockingly going through the touch me, Magenta, you can kind of speak over her lines and say, I want to be a birdie. Take me, shake me, and bake me. Chicken of the night. And this is something that Oscar and I cackle over. It's not funny, but it is something that we think is funny.
It's very similar to the Taco Bell one.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to tell that friend this callback.
Yeah. And then I don't know that this is a callback so much as the way that I remember the order for which people go bone Janet, but it goes Rocky, Brad, Frank, Magenta, Riff Raff, and we'll go over the rest of that on the next minute, of course. But it goes meet George Jetson, and that's Rocky. His boy Elroy is Brad. Daughter Judy, that's Frank. Jane, his wife, that's Magenta. And Rosie, and that's Riff Raff. Or sometimes you can go, Roe and Grosmo. Because, it's Richard O'Brien. Yeah. It's funny. But there are other ones that you can do. So when Rocky says creature of the night, you can go too many muscles, switch, and then Brad can go creature of the night, and then you go glasses, switch, and then Frankenfurter, creature of the night, and you go too much makeup, switch. Magenta, too much hair, switch. Riff Raff, not enough hair, switch.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
I've never heard that ever.
It's cute.
I love it.
So there are options.
Does it go all the way through?
Yes. So it's also, and I will go ahead and spoil this because you can't break up the set with this.
Yeah.
So for Riff Raff, you say not enough hair, switch, or show me near. And then Columbia comes in and you go, Jesus Christ, show me far. And otherwise, when Columbia comes in and goes, creature of the night, you just scream. Because she is terrifying.
She is really terrifying in that moment.
And then when Rocky pops back on and he says creature of the night, you can say, hey, you already had a turn. Or sloppy seconds with yourself. Something like that. And then creature of the night, cha-cha-cha. Or sha-na-na. I love sha-na-na. And then you just recurse through other callbacks. So,
I love it.
It's a little bit of a preview of what's to come. And I think that it's good that we go through those for our very good friend Blake, seeing as he won't be around to hear it.
Leandra?
I mean, I am sorry, Blake, but your time with us has come to an end. And I guess that means that your time with most people has come to an end. We're going to have you hang out with our other good dear friend, Perry Bedden.
Yeah, friend of the podcast.
All right, so I think it would be great if your last words were words that we said with you, and I'll go ahead and start.
In perfect unison.
And it's now.
Now.
You don't have to go home.
No.
You can't stay here. So get the fuck out. Fairly well.
Double feature picture show.
Run away, run away. Hey, Kelly.
Yes, Leandra.
I've got something to say.
I bet it'll sound better with stock Christmas music, so hit it!
We at Rocky Horror Minute want to thank you all for your continued support when we needed to take a long break.
That's right. Leandra needed that time off to become a tri-state yodeling champion, a thing nobody wanted her to do.
And during that time, Kelly's boobs grew 3 sizes, just like the Grinch's heart.
Aw, you noticed!
We wanted to get back into recording so very much, but it was our dearest listeners who contacted us who finally brought us back.
As a way of showing our thanks to you, we are sending out Christmas cards. Just send your address to us on our social media.
Or via email at rockyhorrorminute@gmail.com.
Again, thank you so much for your kind words and encouragement over the years. Knowing that people are listening to us makes all the difference. Merry Christmas, baby!